Okay, I wanted to talk about converting decimals to fractions, and then after you convert them to fractions, convert them back to decimals. Okay, decimals to fractions, then fractions to decimals. Alright, when you're working with this, it helps to know what's to the right of the decimal, or the digits, the place value to the right of the decimal. So if you have, let's say, it could be any number, but I'm going to use 9.9. One digit over is tenths. Think of tens. Alright, 0.9. Two digits over is hundredths. Hundredths. Think of 100. Three digits over is 1, 2, 3 is thousandths. And think of thousand. Alright? Again, this is to the right of the decimal. You have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and you can go on to 10 thousandths, 100 thousandths, and millionths. Alright? So let's look at some decimals. 0.3, 0.54, and 3.25. Alright, what we noticed about 0.3 is it's one digit away from the decimal. So one digit away from the decimal is tenths. The way we change this to a fraction is we get rid of the decimal and we put it over the denominator of 10. 3 over 10, or 3 over 10. That's our fraction. We can't reduce it anymore, so that's our final answer. Let's look at 0.54. 0.54 goes two digits away from the decimal. So two digits away from the decimal is hundredths. So we get rid of the decimal. We write 54 over 100. Okay, 54 over 100 can be reduced if we divide by 2. 2 into 54 is 27. 2 into 100 is 50. So that's our final answer. That's our final fraction. 3.25. 3.25, if we look at this, we have 3, and there's a couple of ways to do this, but we're going to say it's 3, and we have two digits over from the decimal, so we're over 100. 25 over 100. So this can be reduced by dividing 25 into 25 is 1. 25 into 100 is 4. So let's go down here. 3 and 1/4. We still want to have a fraction, so we're going to have an improper fraction. So I'm going to say 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 13 over 4 is our fraction. Our final answer is 13 over 4. So let's go back to 0.3, our decimal 0.3. Our fraction was 3 over 10. And to get back to our decimal again, we take the denominator 10 and divide it into the numerator 3. 10 won't go into 3, so we have to put a decimal, add a 0. 10 into 30 is 3. 3 times 10 is 30, and we have 0.3, and then I'm going to write it over here. 0.3 is our final answer, and it's back to being a decimal. Let's look at 0.54. We had 54 over 100. It reduced to 27 over 50. So I take 50, the denominator, and 27. I'm going to divide 27 by 50. 50 won't go into 27, so I put a decimal. 50 in and add a 0. 50 into 270 is 5. 5 times 50 is 250. Subtract, I get 20. Add a 0 and bring it down. 50 will go into 200 4 times. So my final answer, back to my decimal of 0.54, is 0.54. Okay, finally, 3.25. We got to 3 1/4, and then 13 over 4. I'm going to take 4 and divide it into 13. 4 will go into 13 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. I have 1 left over. Add a 0. 4 will go into 10 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. With 2 left over, add a 0. Bring it down. 4 will go into 20 5 times. Now we're back to our decimal form. So going back to what is the most important, or very helpful, not the most important, but extremely helpful, is to think of whatever's right of the decimal. Okay, if it's 1 digit over, it's tenths. If it's 2 digits over, it's hundredths. If it's 3 digits over, it's thousandths, and so on. All right, that's it.